Hello folks, you may remember a while ago I did a review of this. It's the AVA Easy pressure washer. This one's the P57. There are some different flavours available, and AVA sent me over it for review and said, we just want you to give it an honest review. And I said, okay, it will be a very honest review. If you're happy with that, I'll crack on with it. Loads of people watch the video, seem to find it useful, and as a result they asked me if I'd like to do another video, because lots of people buy these to clean their drives and patios, and evidently very few people are doing it correctly, or perhaps correctly is perhaps not the right word to use, but they could be getting a better finish. So they've given me some simple steps to use on my drive. I've already started with some of it, but I'll talk you through it in a second. But point one is clear the drive of everything, all your furniture, absolutely everything. Clear up, sweep up as much debris, leaves, all that kind of stuff as you can. I've got the worst broom in the world for this job, but we've had a good old-fashioned go. I even got my daughter doing a little bit child labour. And then a week before you start the clean, you want to go around with weed killer. Just get that into any weeds you've got so that it has time to sort of settle in and do its job before you start throwing a load of water down. So I've already done both of those things. Let me show you the before now. As you can see right down here, we've got loads of leaves and crud, but I did, when I was doing the video cleaning the car, I just really quickly went over a little bit here, and you can probably see the difference between those bricks and those. And then you can see we've got all this crud in between the bricks here. So there are some different types of clean. I'm going to go through the different types with you in a mo. I just want to show you the before, and then when we go over here, you'll see that there's some discoloration here from where this has been watered, and it all comes out the bottom again. And then we've got a load of moss here, and along here lots of spots and weeds and stuff. So I've already done the weed killer. I did the weed killer a week ago, which is probably how long you need to leave it, really, a good week for that to do its work. But the tarmac's always going to be the tarmac, so I'm really just focusing on this stuff and how we bring that back, and then how we make it a bit easier to keep clean in future. And then this is where we are with it now. I've run the strimmer along here. I've swept up as well as I can, but with that thing I might as well be using a hairbrush, but funnily enough I don't have one of those. And then just along here you can see where those weeds were, I've just sort of scrubbed those out of my foot and they've just disintegrated. But we've got all this absolute filth to contend with. So let me just explain the three different types of clean. One would be a salvage clean, and given the state of my drive, I'm going to do the salvage clean. And a salvage clean means exactly what it says on the tin, really. It's in a bit of a state and you really need to get in there and get a bit industrial with it. So for that I'm going to use the turbo nozzle, which came standard with my AVA Easy. Then you've got a deep clean, and for that the Easy comes with this triple nozzle, so it's got 3 different settings on it. Use the 20-degree setting on that. It will take a wee bit longer than with the turbo nozzle, but it's not going to be as aggressive or abrasive. And really you should only use that turbo nozzle when it's really, really bad. And hopefully by doing that once and then keeping on top of it, maybe you'll never have to use it again. Then finally you've got your maintenance clean. So you've done the big clean, what I'm doing today, and that should mean that maybe once a quarter or once every 4 or 5 months I go around with this patio tool. That's, again, you can get that as part of a package with this. There is another one available in the Giga Bundle, which I'm going to show you later. So as a recap, step 1, clear your drive. Step 2, weed killer where needed, leave it for a week. And then step 3, choose the correct attachment for the job, depending on how filthy your drive is to start off with. But before I get started with the actual jet washing, I'm going to use some of this AVA patio and decking cleaner, and I'm going to put that in my premium foam cannon, and I'm going to foam that over all the areas I'm going to clean. And those areas, just as a reminder, are going to be the bricks, a little bit of tarmac just under the window and under that hanging basket, but it's really just that brick trim that goes around the edge of the drive. You get a smaller one with this as part of a bigger bundle with the AVA Easy. This one came in an additional pack, which is like a car cleaning pack that they kindly sent me last time round. So I'm just going to use this one because it's got bigger capacity, but the small one's perfectly good as well. Once I've got this sprayed down, I'm going to leave that for 10 minutes. It does say don't let it dry out though, and obviously it's really hot today, so I will just keep it wetting it as need be as we go. But just going to give that 10 minutes, and that'll just help to agitate things, get things moving a little bit, so hopefully we don't have to blast for as long or as hard. So that's done. I'm just going to give it 10 minutes, and then I'm going to attach this. But what you can do with this is pull it out. And what that means is when you're doing down to the ground like that, look, my back's in a nice position. I'm not hunched over. I'm not going to come out of this with raging backache. So I'm going to stick the turbo nozzle in this. As I said, proceed with caution with the turbo nozzle, but it needs it, especially over there where it is absolutely hideous. And although I've foamed all this up, I'm still going to agitate it with a brush just to give it a little bit of an extra helping hand. One of the best practices when you do this is you start at the highest point of the drive. Now my drive is quite obviously sloped, so I'm going to start up here, and then we're working our way down. And that means all that filth is constantly getting pushed along into the gutter, and then I'll jet it into the drain when we finish. Otherwise, if you start at the bottom and you're going up, you're just constantly encountering fresh muck, and that's going to lay over the bit you've just cleaned. So we're going to start up there and work our way down. So I'm just going to show you the initial first blast. This was absolutely thick with sludge. The amount that's come off it is unbelievable. So I'm going to go over this again, but when I go over it again, I'll probably just use the patio cleaner. You know, I've just been trying to get all the sludge from out of the joints really. A lot of people would probably re-sand after this, and I've been told that you only should really do that if when you're blasting, sand's coming out or you've got loose bricks and things. So otherwise you're just creating more of a bed for more of that gunge to accumulate. Other people may disagree, but I'm not going to. I'm going to seal this afterwards though, and I'll tell you about that later. Look at that. That is absolute filth. Still got all this to do, and I need to go back and do this properly. It's actually quite difficult to do when you've got that much sludge. So I'll probably get that out of the way, and then we'll come back and hit it again. So let's just have a little walk around here. The difference here is absolutely amazing. And I've just given this a quick once over so far to try and avoid loads of build-up of clag. This bit's now dried off as it has up here. Now I'm going to go over all this with the patio cleaner. I've obviously jetted it. Look at the difference here. This was literally black before. I know the light's not very good and there's some dirt that's puddled over there. But I'm now going to go over it with a patio cleaner. This is your standard AVA one, and that should do the job perfectly well. But as part of the Giga Bundle, we've got this big bad boy. So this one has got two 60-degree jets on it, and it's also got a big dial so you can adjust how much water flow you've got coming through it. And I'm going to give this one a whirl. I'll show you more about the Giga Bundle in a second. But yeah, I'm going to go over it all with that, and then we're going to deal with the street, because Look at this. I've made a right mess. I've just pulled down my camera and smashed the lens on it, so that's not ideal. The colour that's come back into the blocks is unbelievable, really. It's still a bit wet at the moment, but you can really see the colour, and once the sealant goes on, that will make it pop a little bit more and get it back to its former glory. This drive has been down for a good 10 years now, so it has seen better days, but I think that little clean has brought it back to life. And at some point I need to deal with this because I need some more parking. I had 4 cars on this drive earlier this week. Such is life as a YouTuber. I must do a little bit more in the street as well. It looks like a war zone out there. I have left it in a much better state than Virgin did when they came and dug up the street recently though. So there you go, props to me. I'm just going to show you through the rest of the Giga Bundle. This is usually 200 quid, and at the time I'm recording this, it's 139, it's on offer. And of course, if you use that code �𝑘𝑠, you're going to get some money off. Once again, I don't get commission for it, so don't think I'm trying to sell you something here. I'm just telling you what's available. The much larger adjustable patio cleaner that I showed you earlier. You've also got this little adapter, which means you can actually adjust the angle of your attachments. And again, that will work with AVA ones and Karcher ones. Sorry, I can't give you a better demonstration of that, but I have just smashed my £500 camera. So I'm doing this on my phone. We've then got a number of different nozzles. I've been using one on the lance there to try and clean up the road, but they're all different angles. So that's 0 degrees. So that's when you really want to blast things off. And then you've got 5 of these, and the lightest one is 60 degrees. So that's for doing windows and that kind of stuff. So when you want to go really gentle, for all those cleaning their car, probably 40 degrees is probably about right, so that you're not going to damage the surface of your paint. We then get a shorter extension, so you could use that with the lance or just with the stubby that we've got down there. We've then also got an extension hose, and the good thing about this is a non-marking hose. So if you've got a boat or something that could be marked by the hose, use this and it won't get marked. Isn't that a wonderful thing? There are some of those other nozzles. You've then got big microfiber for cleaning your car. And this, which is quite special. So you've got 3 jets in there. And this is a fascia attachment. So when you want to clean the fascias of your house, you can actually do so without getting loads of blowback, because obviously this is kind of cupping it. And as you can see, you've got a brush around the edge. And then there is an AVA first aid kit. So basically everything you're going to need in there if anything goes wrong. Really handy thing to have. And don't forget, if you do need replacement parts, these things are modular. So your pump is a modular part. All you need is a Phillips head screwdriver, and you can change it yourself, and AVA sells the parts at cost price. And you've got a massive warranty in the first place. I think it's a 10-year warranty on that machine. Right folks, I've cleaned myself up, I've had a shower, I've tidied everything away, the cars are back on the drive. I'm actually going to just wait for this to properly dry out tomorrow, and I'm then going to hit it with some sealant. There are a couple of bits there where I might actually have to brush a bit of sand in, because I've taken quite a lot out because it was so hideous. So I might do that and then throw a sealant down on it. This is the sealant I'm using. I don't know if it's a good product or a bad one, to be honest. It's just the one they had in Screwfix, Thompson's One Coat Patio and Block Paving Seal. I'm going to put it down with a roller. You could also do it with a sprayer, I believe, although I don't know if it's solvent based or water based, so I don't know. I should read the instructions, I suppose. But once that's down, you'll see the water like beading off it a little bit, off the blocks in future. And obviously it speaks for itself that that's going to hopefully prevent the drive from getting into the state it was before. So as a little recap, the best way to do your drive is to clear it, brush everything off that you possibly can. And then you want to do the correct cleaning process depending on the state of your drive. If it's filthy, you want to be using that turbo nozzle. If it's just quite dirty, maybe like the 20 degree jet, 25 degree jet. It will take you a bit longer, but it's not going to be quite as aggressive and abrasive as that turbo nozzle is. And then afterwards, your maintenance clean, you can just use your patio cleaning tool, and that does it nice and gently, but you'll still get a great result. And then at the end of it, if you need to do any sanding, by all means do that with some kiln dried sand. If not, just hit it with some sealant, and hopefully that will protect it and keep your drive looking good for much longer. Now, if you want to check out the AVA machines, don't forget using that code NOTAGURU at the time of filming this will get you a 10% discount on their website. I'm not sure how long that offer is going to stand for. And up here is a QR code. You can scan that on your phone if you're watching on the telly, and it will take you straight to the AVA website. Thanks a lot for watching this one, folks. People seem to really enjoy the last pressure washing video. This one's perhaps a bit different. You know, I'm cleaning his driveway. It's a fat man cleaning his drive, but I hope you enjoy it nonetheless. Please show it some love if you do, with a thumbs up, and of course we always love a new subscriber. Catch you on the next one. Huge thanks to all my channel members for your continued support. I really do appreciate it.